Hi everyone, this is Deborah from Cream City Angels, and today I am working in GIMP. I'm using version 2.8. GIMP is a free software that you can download online. You can download it at GIMP.org, and it's very similar to Photoshop, has a lot of the same functionality. The steps are a little bit different, so I'd like to show how you can create a new image using multiple Digis today. So the first thing I'll do is create my background, or create my new ping file. I'm going to change this to inches, so that's what I'm most comfortable with. 11 by 11 looks good. I'm going to also select this plus sign next to advanced options, and instead of having a white background, I am going to change it to transparency and hit OK. Now this pixelated pattern here means that my background is transparent, and that's important if you plan to use it with other Digis later on. So it's always nice to have a transparent background. If it was white, if you tried to import it with other Digis, you'd have this white box around the image. So next I'm going to open layers, and I'm going to select I created a new folder with all the Digis that I wanted to combine. So there's this picture, and you can see the pixelated background, so it has a transparent background. And there's a cherry blossom cluster and a rose cluster. So I'm going to select all these files and select open. And you can see all of these layers were created. So I have the picture and the cherry blossoms and the rose. So I'm just going to hide the rose and the cherry blossom, and I will focus on the picture first. So the first thing I want to do is to scale it. So here's your toolbox, and if you hover over any of the icons, there's a flyout box that tells you what it is. So it says Scale Tool, so I'll select that. Then I'll select on the picture itself. Now this other box shows up. Now it shows you the width and the height. If you know what size you want it, you could type in what you'd like. Now this link mark, this link icon here, it's broken, which means if you change the number up here, the height wouldn't change, so it would become squished. So to maintain the aspect ratio, you need to click the link so that it all remains proportional. And I'm just going to, instead of typing in the numbers, I'm just going to drag it using the corner handles. So I'm going to drag it just like that. And when you have it about the size you want it, you select scale. Now I'm going to move to the move tool, and I'm going to select the layer again of the picture, and I'm just going to move it over a little bit. Next I'm going to work with the cherry blossom. So I'm going to select that layer, and it already is selected on move, but I'd like to scale it. So I'm going to, same process, click on the Digi and the box pops up. It remembers that the last time I wanted to keep the aspect ratio proportional, so it's already the icon's already clicked, so you don't have to do it again. So all you have to do now is to scale it, and you could type in the numbers and then select scale when you have it about the right size. I'm just going to move it up and into the picture. Now I think I'd like another set. Actually, I think I'm going to rotate this image a little bit. So this is the rotate icon right here. I'll select that. I'll select the layer, and I'll select the image, and then all you do is drag it and rotate it. And you can select, you can type in the angle if you know you want it at 10 degrees or 15 or whatever. and then just select rotate when you're finished. I'm just going to move it over just a little bit. Okay. Now I think I'd like a second one on the other side, but I'd like a mirror image. So what I'll do is I'm going to right click and I'm going to duplicate the layer. Now I have two layers of cherry blossom. You can't really tell right now because they're over top each other exactly. So I'm going to hide this little eye. If you click it, then one of them disappears. I'm going to click the layer that's visible. And what I'm going to do is, this is a really cool feature, it's called the flip tool. So I'm going to select this icon and I'm going to select this Digi. And now I'm going to move it over by selecting the move tool. I'm just going to move it to the other side. So now I have two in the picture, and they're flipped and they're rotated. Now the third group of flowers I have is this rose. So I'm going to select that layer, and it's selected on move already. So you can move it, or you can, actually I want to scale it. So I'll select the rose Digi, and I'll grab the corner, and I'll scale it down, and then accept. And I'll move it up into the center here, and then I'll unhide the rest of them to see how they're doing. Maybe I'll keep that where it is. Okay. So the next part, you can see I have an arrangement of flowers in the picture. Now I want the flowers to look like they're inside the vase. Right now they're in front of the vase. If I sent them behind the vase, they'd look like they were behind the vase. So what I want to do is I'm going to hide these other flowers. I'm going to select this erase tool here. And you can select your brush size. I'm going to make it just a little bit bigger. And then I'm going to select, we just want to, layers are a really neat thing. So I have separate layers, and you're only working with the layer. Like if I want to erase, I select the layer of the roses, and I'll just erase on the rose, even though I'm going over top of this picture as well. So you just go along the rim and erase all of the stem. So then it looks like the roses are in the picture. Now I'm going to hide this layer and move to my next layer. I'm still in the erase mode, so all I have to do is select this layer, and I can go across the rim and erase all of the leaves and stem. So now it looks like it's inside the picture. I'll hide this one and show the last cherry blossom. I'll highlight that layer, and then I will erase the stem. Now I have a cluster of flowers that look like it's in a vase. Now you could crop this down. It doesn't really matter since it's a transparent background. You could also merge these layers together, but you don't have to. I'm just going to save it out as a PNG file, and that'll combine it into one image all at one time. So I'm going to export, and it's an untitled PNG right now since I didn't give my background a title. So I'm going to call it Picture Flowers, and then you can just save it in a folder. So I'll export it and just hit export again. And now I've created a new digital image with a transparent background as a PNG file using 3 different Digis. That's pretty much all there is to it, and I hope you'll give it a try. Thanks for joining me.